Extremists hijack and excessively politicize four key Islamic and Quranic notions. Firstly, the idea of Umma, or the nation. They regard this as only the Muslim nation, and thus regard Muslims worldwide as a global brotherhood and sisterhood to the exclusion of everybody else. And thus Muslims in a far-off land whom they haven't met are regarded as closer to them than their own next-door neighbours who happen not to be Muslim. Secondly, there's the idea of Khilafa, or a global caliphate. Based on the fictional imaginary idea of Muslims as one nation politically, extremists have this idea of a caliphate, a single superstate, ruled by an unelected caliph who usually becomes a despot, a tyrant, a dictator. Thirdly, there is the idea of Shariah as a state-imposed religious law. Based on the idea of a caliphate for one nation, there is the idea that this territory must have state law as Sharia, which is always in its medieval interpretation for the extremists, and it is imposed by force in a religious state. Fourthly, there is the idea of jihad, understood as militancy or terrorism against their enemies and for the establishment and protection and preservation of a caliphate. And they justify militancy and terrorism against their enemies and to protect their utopian state. Allied to the idea of jihad is that of Shahada or martyrdom, which is here understood as dying in battle to defend and promote their utopian caliphate, including dying in suicide bombing operations. To ask us a question or to find out more about the Quilliam Foundation and the work we are doing to counter extremism, please follow us on Facebook and Twitter or visit our website.